Hello, who's joined? I hear some audio playing.
Hello.
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 I'm live.
You're live. Everybody's live.
Yeah.
I just put a note in the chat room.
I did. I did. Come and sit.
Well, anyone have any questions before we start anything? We're just waiting for some people to join in.
I did.
Hello. Hey, what are their names? What's their names? Oh, you're muted. Oh, there's no audio. I don't hear you. And no audio. When you join, you have to basically join with device audio, or then we cannot hear. But see, I hear kids coming from the other one but now, oh, it got muted, I see. So that's under Sagun. There's Murphy A. Franciscus. Well, so why don't we start with some questions? Anyone have any questions? Just background noise. You muted yourself. Good. So if you have questions, then unmute. That's a good idea. So probably. Oh, are you going to ask something? Well, I push mute anyway. There's no questions. So anyway, well, we'll just wait a few more minutes before I start, talking about what's going on. There's not. I think it's So I went ahead, I put that notice in the Kringle coin room as well. So, hello again. I just dropped the note in just because maybe people were not noticing the group, New Path Forward group. We can get started in a few minutes. See, I don't hear you. Hello, Christian.
That's good.
Hello.
Good morning, Dan.
Good morning.
I think you have some feedback.
Yeah. Is it okay now? How are you doing today?
It's a little better, but yeah, there was still a little bit of background noise. That's all right, though.
Yeah, it's okay over here too. Just a little bit cold.
Yeah. Just waiting. But if you have any questions, you can ask me now, and we can talk about things. I'm
Okay, thank you.
yeah. So I've been gathering the data from the New Path Forward group, right? For who's been already in the testers program. And a lot of people are asking, well, what about the people who weren't testers? You know, everyone who is showing up right now and saying that they're willing to lead is a leader. But if people are not showing up, and people say, well, hey, I've got some people here who want to, you know, I represent them, and I want to put them in. No, this is not, the purpose is not to get people on a list, you know, but it's for people that want to do something, and make some efforts to you know, to move forward. So you know, stand-ins don't work. So in the testers program, it's hard to say out of 11,000 that were signed up. This background is a little bit too much. I'm going to mute. Oh, maybe. Yeah. Okay. But out of the 11,000 that signed up for the testers program, I can only take a guess at how many were not really people ready to lead, right? That they were just, let me sign up as many accounts as I can, right? And so that I can get on for, you know, $500 a week.
Okay.
So,
Bye-bye.
take that.
It's okay.
I'm hearing, but I'm not clear as what you're saying.
I can hear you now.
Okay. Oh, you with the two kids.
I can hear you now.
Oh, you can hear me, and I can hear you. Before I couldn't hear anything you were saying.
Okay. Thank you, sir. So,
what's the name of your two kids?
my name is Oladile Isaac from Nigeria.
Yeah. So what's the kids' names?
You say?
The children. What's the children's names? Not you.
Okay. This one is Oladile Israel.
Hello.
It's Oladile Israel. He's greeting
Hello,
you
I'm
also.
Dan. I'm Dan.
Hello. Hello, sir.
How are you? I'm good. How are you? How
Thank
old
you,
are
sir.
you?
Sir?
Yes.
What the key Israel?
It's
I
okay.
told
Sorry.
I told her.
It's okay.
But, what's not for John Sunday? What's the vice president? That's all. Only kilo
It's
look
okay.
on my
Don't
tongue.
worry. It's no problem. It's okay. They're too shy. All right.
No,
So
I'm in the meeting. I'm in the meeting. Don't disturb me.
too late now. Okay. So let me mute you, and if you want to say something, just go ahead and unmute yourself. Okay. So yeah. So the right now the focus is to find the people that want to stand up and do something, right? That are ready to move forward. So it's not that there's people that will join later and participate. That's not what we're talking about. This is really talking about the people that are ready to do something. It's not get in line and wait, all right, for money to arrive. This is get in line, get in to start doing something. So this is why I was looking for the leaders. So moving everyone to have everyone send me a private message. Number one, that means we're in communication, right? And then if I can add you to the group, right? That means that we have your setting in Telegram is set so that I can add you. So we're communicating. It's just to start the communication, because as we move forward, we need to be able to communicate. It's very important. So the other piece is to find from the 3,200 people in the group who is active, right? Who is participating, right? So we need to find people that are wanting to engage with other people. So this is one of the reasons for setting up this separate group, New Path Forward group. The next thing is for me. There's things that have happened in the Kringle community that that I was not finding very nice. For example, just disbanding the testers group like that. It took us so much work to assemble 11,000 people, right? Even if a third of them were not really there, that's still a lot of people, a lot of organization. And we were having weekly meetings at that time, right? The send button meetings at the time were very big. If you remember, we were having 2,000 people on live. So for it just to be disbanded like that, I didn't like how that happened. And so I wanted to make sure to bring those people in first and put them and say, you're pre-qualified. So the other people who have not been in the testers program, it doesn't mean you won't be a leader at all. But you are going to have to bring people in, do things that show yourself to be a leader to come in. So I've been working this last week in setting up what would be the governance side of this. And this is also a reason to talk with people, all right, on video and have a conversation. So under you know, the Kringle Society, it's supposed to be set up with the Privy Council, Board of Trustees, and the Office of Overseer, right? And these things were not done, right? Even when we made the protest, we tried to push under the and said, okay, we'll make our own Privy Council, get it formed. You know, Pantera de Oro said it was not properly formed. Okay, fine. But then Edmund said he was going to do it. Still hasn't been done, right? So we want to make sure that there is, from the very beginning, a structure in place, right? So we want to basically make sure that there's, but I think that one thing out of that structure that is missing was not just about a Privy Council, right, and the Board of Trustees, but what about the people? You know, how do you basically have a voice? Because with that many million people, 3 million people, even if it's if we just look at say who is active, let's say we bring it down to just say 10,000 active people. How do you really be able to communicate and work with 10,000 people? So you need to have the leaders that are in communication. So leaders can, you know, come in many shapes and sizes. Some are active and they go and traveling. Some are in one place and people come to them. Some are, you know, door to door. Some are sitting, you know, in a coffee shop waiting for the next people to come in, right? So they bring in people, but they become a hub of information. And when there's a problem, when something is not quite right or things are, they're the ones that hear. So we have to have a way to incorporate them. So, oh, hello, Frederick. I see you there. Thank you for joining.
How are you, sir?
I'm good.
It's been a while.
Yes, well, I've been busy. I typed so much that my wrist stopped working.
Wow, that's beautiful. I'm happy to know that you've been busy, you know. Such a wonderful time to be alive, you know. So what's happening with cloud token, sir?
Well, let's not go there yet, but I'll just say one short thing on it. The new over-the-counter system is almost set up. I have my account, but I cannot connect my cloud token wallet yet. So they've implemented a lot of things. They're changing their system so that they can be legal, right? They're trying to be legal and fit in and put offices in countries, right? But they want to do that, but they're first talking about what is investment, ROI, all these forbidden words. They're going that route. I don't think that's the best route. Right? So now what they're doing is they're playing a game, right? It's not investment. Now you're buying data and we're selling data off of the cloud SIMs. I'm going, it's very confusing now, right?
Wow.
Instead, just stop using those words. But anyway, that's a whole other story.
I just decided to hold on to watch the system for a while. You know, the way the system was initiated was not right. You know, they wanted to invest into the people, which was beautiful. But when I saw that the investor had pulled out, I just started to wait for a while to see if the system is solid.
Yeah, I don't want to get off topic here, but so let's.
Sorry, what is this meeting about, sir? What is this meeting about, sir?
This is about the new path forward for TBC people.
Okay.
How to
I think I'll stay mute and to listen.
No problem.
Thank you.
Okay, so where was I? We're talking about the governance and what we were missing. Oh, we have some audio playing. It's making noise. It's making noise. Anyway, I muted you. Okay. So the governance piece, right? I feel needs to have something other than the Privy Council and the Board of Trustees. These have specific roles to play, right? But we need basically a place of where all the leaders, the community leaders are. And so look at as a, we have, there needs to be a name for it. For right now, I just call it the House of Community Leaders. This House of Community Leaders, as there are generation of coins made, a distribution of those will go to the leaders. So it's not just about there's every member that participates will get a piece, but there's also the leaders will also get a piece. So so there is an advantage in leading, right? So that you participate in this. So there's naming conventions and things like that. What to call the leaders. Is there? I had created with others in America. We had our indigenous group that we formed, and we even put a constitution in place. All basically to stand outside of the cabal structure, right? So in the house of that we had, because we mirrored a lot around the American Constitution, but we put also in the house like in the American United States of America House of Representative, you have the House Leader. That's currently is Nancy Pelosi, and doing a horrible job, but that's beside the point. In this indigenous group, we put one man and one woman, the mother and the father of the house, so that there was a representation from both genders. If someone is confused about what gender they are, they don't need to make any waves. We're going to have two genders. So, but this would be the representation for the leaders, right? So I'm basically one of the a lot more noise again. If someone wants to ask a question, oh, okay. If you want to ask a question, be ready. I'll stop as soon as you say that you want to unmute yourself. But one of the reasons why I wanted to have a conversation was really to ask your opinions about this idea. So this is one of the pieces of this puzzle, right? In putting this together so that we can all have benefit immediately from our efforts.
Wow. So, sir, you're talking about the Privy Council, putting together the Privy Council?
Privy Council for this new path forward, yes. Not to basically go up and say, okay, or admin says we're doing a coup, forget it. I only went along with this structure in place because it said in the very beginning, Privy Council, Board of Trustees, Office of Overseer. But in over a year, it's not been put into place. And even we pushed to basically have it happen, it still hasn't happened. Admin doesn't want
I think this is the right time to get this thing done.
Well, it's going to be done. It's going to be done. It's going to be done over here, and it doesn't matter what happens over there. So this is a new path forward. It has everything that we've already learned and all the mistakes resolved.
It's good. We can call it. It doesn't have to a privy council.
Well, I'm still using the name Privy Council. I have no problem with Privy Council and Board of Trustees and Office of Overseer. The only addition was a House of Community Leaders. I was thinking of using the name Sheriffs, House of Sheriffs. The reason is mostly sheriffs, people think of law enforcement. But that's not the original idea. When you talk about Old England and the Privy Council of England, right, it go back in time, the sheriffs of that time were responsible for a community, right? So you had everyone knows the Sheriff of Nottingham with Robin Hood, right? So the sheriffs were responsible for a group of people. And this is what we're really looking for, is for community leaders to be responsible, for those people. And if there's problems that occur, then they can come and say, these are the problems. This is what we think we can do, right? And then in conjunction with the Privy Council and the Board of Trustees and the Office of Overseer, these now can operate together to come up with whatever the solution is and then implement it. So
I'm always with you 100% on any project you do. And I love you so much. But I'm looking at a way you and the admin can come back together and work as one. That's my prayer for you daily. I pray for unity. Because for this to work, there must be unity.
Well, you know what? I don't agree because if one party is really hard-headed and doesn't want to listen to anything, right? And then as a result of trying to make something happen, decides that he's going to punish everyone. He's still punishing people. Everyone's still being punished. I'm done. I don't want to be punished, right? Because I don't want to do his program. Right? That's illegal. The Bitcoin bounty is a legal system. It's illegal. It's not allowed in 3/4 of the planet. And except for Africa, okay, fine. If you only want TBC in Africa to do Bitcoin bounty, no problem. But why is it made illegal? Right?
I've not really asked you that question. I said I was going to ask you privately, what makes the Bitcoin bounty illegal?
The aspect of splitting the membership fee with your upline.
We're not splitting it with the upline. It is splitting with the admin.
Yes, and?
Splitting with the admin.
And your upline. 50% goes to your upline, 50% goes to the admin.
This is a system that has never been done before in the world. Why don't we encourage something that empowers all? Instead of only the admin getting the fee and the people are struggling. They struggle to bring these people in and they are paying this fee. They don't get nothing.
Right.
What do you think, sir?
Well, that's because the system is bad. It's only about getting money from people. And then you have to struggle to get your whole downline to continue to pay each month.
You and I don't argue with the things you do, but this one, I believe that we need a system that will connect Bitcoin and the billion coin together. It doesn't matter how it starts. The era of only the admin enjoying the admin fee the members.
So here we go, Frederick.
It's over. We should all benefit equally.
Frederick. I've been through a lot of how to make this work for all these years, right? Remember, we're ancient. We're old leaders. been around the block, understand what the issues are. The momentum that is needed has been lost. It was lost a long time ago. And the path that he's going down with Bitcoin bounty, there's a reason why the 75% of the planet has made it illegal. It leaves dead bodies around. Everybody feels like they've been gypped. I did it the first month and I said, no, I'm not going to continue this. And I didn't say anything. I just stopped. But then I was being forced to do it. That's not right. And I don't want to be punished because I don't want to do that system. And the momentum has been lost. In order to look at these dates. Okay, November was the month we're going to be spendable. Hey, we're in November. What happened? We're going to get to 1 billion people by November. Now it's March. It's ridiculous numbers. It can't be. It cannot be. The momentum was lost. And by the time we crossed over from 1 to 5% daily to 1 grain of gold per person, or €1 at the time, €1 per member that joined, when we crossed that threshold, we were struggling, we were growing, and then we hit the technology problem. That technology problem came from him not doing the right things. I'll tell you that. He didn't do the right things. And for that reason, there was a problem. So he doesn't know technology, but he acts, he's acting like he's a coin developer. I mean, it's the most ridiculous thing. So to think that the Bitcoin bounty is going to be the solution. How? You've cut out 75% of the planet. You mean you're gonna get to 1 billion people in Africa all signed up? So, and then it's violating the rules of the Articles of Association. You're doing something illegal outside of Africa. If you do this Bitcoin bounty outside of Africa, you should be expelled from TBC according to the rules, because you're breaking the law.
So how do we fund the technology?
Well, new path forward, right? So I'm not talking about solving the problem of what's going to happen with TBC coin. TBC coin can keep growing slowly because it's not going to grow fast. The momentum has been lost. No matter what happens right now, that time has been lost. To make sure to go, we can't be growing at 1 million. If we're growing at 1 million people a month, 1 million people a month, how long does it take to get to 1 billion? Right? 1,000 months. We're not getting there.
I think what you said is so true, because if you look at the numbers, it's going to be so difficult to hit 1 billion at the rate at which we are growing in the next 20 years. So
let it grow slowly. If admin changes his direction and something happens, fine. But it doesn't matter. I want something that's spendable right away. I want to be able to go to Bitcoin the same day. I don't want to be able to have to wait, and I want something that is going to be good for everyone and grow. So I've got it. It's done. It's designed. It's being programmed, and the white paper is done. One website's done. Another website's being built. So there's different components of this. I'm working with, with high-end financial groups to make this happen. It's a coin that will be one of the top 10 coins in the world within the first year. I'm sure it can make it that far, because it is such a great, a whole great, and the benefit of that will flow into our community.
Oh, great. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Another thing I noticed, sir, please, sorry, you know, I've not spoken to you for like 3 months now. It's been a long time. Just been busy on ground, you know. I know that the admin has his own challenge. That's why we are humans, you know, he's a human being. But what he's doing is still in line with the vision. For example, look at the 1st of December, he said every member who pays their admin fee will get a full TBC. And then of course, everyone who is registered with the admin credit will also get a full TBC. That will lock up the 1 million people that is supposed to have one full TBC.
I don't agree.
And when we have 1 million people with one full TBC, TBC can become spendable because there will be no.
I don't agree.
Have cookie rewards. You won't have cookie rewards and all that.
I don't agree. It's not 1 million people. If you had 100 million people, maybe.
You understand?
100 million.
Yes. It's wrong. That $25 is compulsory that whosoever that made the payment by the 1st of December, we get 1 TBC. Is out of it. He's still on the point of collecting that $25. He's just using different tactics. He's out of point. He's just using different tactics. You understand? That is one of the problems we are facing. Not until admin stop giving out free coin. You understand? We will not move to any level. There won't be any progress. So that is why we are arguing that admin should stop the redemption of a thing by this November. So when it stops it, then we will see many projects that were coming in that will be making this coin to be spendable. Then we can have many merchants, and it will give them rest of mind that what they want to start to be accepting, there is value for that. But what concerns us admin as of today, as I'm talking to you, is that how to get that $25 from people. That is what brought paying your at the 1st of December for you to get 1 TBC.
Okay. So right now, if you want to look, you've got in the world the cryptocurrency exploding. There's more and more acceptance of it. Bitcoin is 50 million people. 50 million people. This year, it's going to go to 200 million, 300 million people. TBC is growing way too slow. Right? It's got too many design flaws in the system. You're not going to overcome them. There is no way for it to happen in the way because it was designed to do something a certain way. I thought it was way too fast of a growth for the price in the very beginning. I thought this was too fast, right? But only with the aspect of growing tremendously fast, faster than Facebook grew. Even though Facebook had all this ultimate wealth behind it, right, to pay all these bills. Hello. Someone's trying to share screen. No, I just muted HTC One M8. All right. So listen, I'm not. I've had so many ideas on how to help TBC move forward, but in any which way, it requires massive growth. And even admin says it, but the problem is that the method that he's choosing does not achieve it, and it cannot. Bitcoin bounty cannot get you there, and now it's putting people into a situation in which they feel as though they have to participate. They have the admin credits. They're being drawn into it. They pay, and then they feel bad about it. That's what happens in this network marketing side of things, right? When you turn the whole business into network marketing, and now you're in this network marketing. If you're not successful, you feel like you're a failure. So you feel bad. So how many people feel bad about doing the system? How many people feel bad about doing TBC? Is this really a good way to go? I don't think so. So in this new path forward, there is no cost to join, but you can still participate and make coin out of it. That's readily spendable into Bitcoin. So, you know, this will carry it. This is exciting. And as I said, the driving force of this coin will be that in the people we've already spoken with are very excited about it, and they have nothing to do with TBC. Nothing. They just, they know that there is a community that this is coming from that is wants to end global poverty. All well and good for them, right? They have no problem with that. But it has nothing to do with the community, but they see how their advantage in using this coin, this new coin. So I'm not explaining everything. We have contracts that are being worked on. There are people that have to do certain parts. We have basically partnerships, we would say JV partnerships to deal with. We've got, connecting 4 different pieces together to make it all work. So it takes time. If everyone would come together and sit at a table, we get it all done in a day. But it doesn't happen that way, right? So it's all back and forth, right? As soon as that gets settled, it'll gel, and then we'll be able to get started. The coin will be ready within 2 weeks, right? To be sold. That's not the issue. It's everything else we're doing
So
to make
the question I want to ask is, how is this coin different from the market coin and TBC? What is the uniqueness of this coin? I know that we're going to have several coins coming out at the end of the day, and I heard about something KLT until you did a review on it, and I saw your point. It looked like creating another TBC.
Right. And I rejected it when I first started thinking about what to do, even almost a year ago, about the same concept of putting it onto a market-based system. But as soon as you do that, you become a clone. And yes. TBC doesn't need to be a clone. There doesn't need to be the alternative clone piece. Is like, this is TBC and this is TBC. What sense does that make? You put it on the market, who's going to be buying it? The same people that you buy it if you were doing peer-to-peer? So if you're having a problem, you're not going to attract those people, right? So it was, and then as soon as it was revealed that, oh, it's 50% now in Ethereum, you have to pay for it, and 50% in Kringles. Oh, great. That means you're going to be paying for your new Kringles. So
that's wrong. That's
why I didn't do it. There's
even in my real estate now, we used to have, there's this registration fee of 82 grains, to come in, because we have to do plans for them. We have to do soil analysis. We have to do search. I just said no. When you pay for your land, that registration fee will be taken out. You won't even feel it. You pay for the house. I take out my registration fee from the referrals commission. So you don't have to pay referral commission to buy a land or a house in our estate now, because at the end of the day, when you introduce a fee, it can be corrupted. That's the fact. When you introduce a fee, that system can be corrupted. You understand it? But why I fell in love with TBC was because I was one of the first guys to get lay hold of Bitcoin in Ghana, and I just lost money in Liberty Reserve, so I was not really interested in accumulating the coin. So when TBC came in 2006, I've been praying for something like that, and it came, and I was really excited about it. But I'm thinking about, how do we manage the technology? You know what I mean? So I want to work with you on any project, this new coin, as long as TBC is still going the way it's going. I'm going to be working TBC. I'm really ready to work TBC and to make sure that TBC work. Doesn't matter whatever it takes. You understand? So we in Africa, we know what we're going through here in Africa. So when you say something is illegal in this country, not legal in Africa, Africa here, we suffer before we get anything. We don't get credits. We don't get loan. You don't get nothing. You have to create something before you survive. So when you say the thing is illegal in that country, that's their headache. As far as I'm concerned, I love Bitcoin bounty, and I'm ready to build it.
Well, that's fine. You can do it, right? And I'm not saying for you not to do it. I just don't see how TBC can be successful in what the mission is doing. Right?
You're right.
You can't make it outside. You can't make it outside of Africa. Right? So that means you need 1 billion people from Africa. So, you know, and it's not going fast. It's not growing fast. When we stopped, when the whole, testers leadership matrix, or the top 10 leadership matrix, was disbanded, we were doing weekly send button meetings with thousands of people coming on every day.
That's true.
Right? Well, what happened after that? Did TBC accelerate? No. So what has been the great advancement since then? Bitcoin bounty. So it's not working. It's the wrong direction, and he's not listening, right? I'm not. Listen, you can do it. Listen, there's many MLS Bitcoin Club. It was a trade up system in Bitcoin, right? You can do it, but when I did that, it sounded good. But if people don't work, they don't make money, and then they say, "Oh, you scammed them." I said, "How did I scam you? You didn't bring people in to trade up with." You know,
there are factors, there are things I look at in a system. I look at the creator of the system, the mindset of the creator of the system. Yes, the admin may have a little issue with you. That is where we are stuck now. You know, the admin is not willing to also work with you because you've been in this system from day one. But one thing I know you have a beautiful hat. The admin has a beautiful hat. That's why I'm ready to support him and to build this. At least for once, Africa should do something right. People are, we have Tesla, we have, what have we done in Africa? What opportunity have been given to us in Africa to do anything? So if Africa cannot stand for something that will change their lives, then we are going back to slavery. I'm not going back. I'm not going back to slavery. Never.
Yeah,
I'm going to work with you I'm going to work with you on this coin while we keep building TBC, because the world is not better. The world itself generally has not improved. Nothing has improved in the world.
Yeah, so, I'm not going to tell anyone not to do TBC. At all. TBC should be there. It should grow as it used to. Their $10 admin fee was fine. People keep saying, well, what about how you're going to pay for the development? You got a blockchain that's working just fine. What is the reason to trade up and get a different blockchain? Whatever he said, $1 million? I'm sorry. No. He's being taken advantage of. He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't need $1 million to pay programmers to build a new blockchain. That doesn't cost that much. If you hire your own programmers and put them on salary, it's going to be, you only need 2 good ones. That's it. You need 1 good one to come up with a new blockchain. You could buy all the ones that are already developed, but anyway, I don't want to get into all that because I'm really satisfied now, because all this while I was just really trying to understand your reasons, but it makes sense, and well, it's okay. I'm good to go with this. I'm just going to stop for now so that I can have an in-depth understanding of what
your new project is about. Thank you very much, sir.
Sure, Frederick. Yeah, so I'm sorry to get upset, because I'm upset with the way the system has been, how it's gone, and what admin has done with it, you know, and how he's treated all the old leaders. From quite frankly, it's really atrocious. But you know, that being said, I don't want anything bad to happen to TBC, but I'm not going to sit around and wait for this to solve the problem, right? To make, Africa, Philippines, you know, I since 2014, I realized I went to the five poorest nations on the planet. It wasn't like a travel plan. I just happened to end up there. Mozambique, Sri Lanka, Laos, where else? I forgot the other one. Oh, Indonesia, Malaysia, and now I'm looking at, of course, the Philippines. I'm here all the time, but it's the third poorest. So I know, I see the poverty. I've seen it. No one is empowered to do anything. Frederick, I feel your passion in it. I understand, you know, but this system in the world, the Cabal system, was designed to keep people poor. And so if we're need to move past this, and this is the time it's happening, you know, there is major changes. The whole world system is removing this central banking system and getting rid of fiat and central banks, and they're going to go to asset-backed money. So only when this happens will really the changes be felt. But while we're getting there, you know, I plan to give an ability, a pathway to make sure that people can get on there right now and make money now, so that they can use it, spend it, and it doesn't feel like you're trying to convince anyone to join a network marketing opportunity. But there will be ways in which people can sell the coin and make money. So there will be a way of with you want to make more, you participate and do other things. So this is going to take time to develop, but the very first part that starts the ball rolling is to move the coin forward, and that is only a couple of weeks away, and that will be sold. Now, the way it's sold is not going to be the way normally things are done. So I'm not going to announce that yet, but that's why I was asking to bring the people who have been in the top 10 leadership matrix to be pre-qualified to join as leaders, right? And become part of the House of Community Leaders, right? This is, you know, in essence, for all their hard work in the past, you're pre-qualified. So it was something that I think was very important to do, is recognize what was done by the leaders in the past. So right now there's 120 people, something like that, in that group. But I'm sure that this is going to grow to where we have at least a few thousand of those people. I don't know how many are still, you know, interested in being part of what is happening in the Kringle community. But, you know, this is made available to them. The other people that have not been in the tester program can still lead. If you're here, you're already taking the steps necessary. But that's really what I want to talk about, is basically, you know, let's talking about what has happened with TBC. I know, Frederick, you haven't been on with the communication, but I've been communicating these things every day with the people in the Kringle Coin group in Telegram. So there's been a lot of conversation. But as a face-to-face of and expressing things that that should be able to be heard, I want to make people know that the leaders will have a voice and also have a piece of what is generated on a daily basis coming to them.
Wow, beautiful. So, like I said, is it a market coin or a stable coin?
I really just don't want to get into the Q&A about the coin, right? Because one question leads to the next question. My concern right now is leaders and community. Because as soon as I'm ready to go ahead and show it, right, then everybody should be able to start.
That's great.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
You know, you've done a lot, to humanity. You've contributed a lot to bringing abundance. That mindset, abundance is the mindset. The mindset to do right, to do the right thing. That's basically what abundance is. So any projects that the question I want to ask: are you the creator of this coin, or you're working with another group?
No, I'm the creator of the coin.
Oh, hooray! There we are in.
I started designing it already from beginning of the year for another group, right? That wanted to was going to pay me to develop it. So I came up with a solution for them, but then they didn't come up with the money. So I spent 3 months working on it. And then I said, I ended up working with Cloud Token, right? And Cloud Token is a good system. The people behind it, the guy Ronald is a technology person, right? So he understands. But he also has he's thinking at it from the standpoint of a technology person, right? So he wants to get in and fix the things, right? But so it's like a car, right? Oh, it's not running correctly. Let me take it off and put it in the garage, open up the hood, take out the engine, go ahead and do this, put the new engine in, change this, I got to modify this, modify that, put it back out on the road. So that's what we're experiencing with Cloud Token. But still, good ideas behind that, and someone who wants to really help people. I believe it. I think he's trying to make a system that benefits people. So this is a good thing. But there's
what is happening about Cloud Token now? What is happening about Cloud Token now? Our payment and withdrawal has been on the process.
Yeah. Well, you should cancel your process.
I should cancel it.
Yeah, cancel your process, and because the OTC is the way things will be moved out, and you can do 5,000 Cloud Token a day.
Oh, so after I cancel the process, I should go for another one.
Yeah, the OTC program is in there right now, and it's called Ribbons OTC. So you have to make the account there. It's a peer-to-peer trading. So but it's not they only made it available about 2 days ago, and it took me 1 day to make my account because everybody flooded in. And then when you're there, that you don't have your Cloud Token wallet there yet, so you can't move your Cloud Token into it to sell it.
All right.
And 60% of the generated coin that they make every day will be put into Ribbons for buying Cloud Token back.
All right. Thank you. No problem.
Okay. So this is something that is just like I said, I think it's a good technology from what they're trying to do, but it's they're just having some growing pains. brought in a lot of money very quickly, and then the Ethereum, they were trying to do too much transactions on the Ethereum network from what they were doing. So they had to redesign the whole thing. So their solution is not to have 20 wallets of Ethereum and then get this block, right? Because they're trying to send, they had 250,000 transactions in a day. So how can they process that to Ethereum? That's 20% of the whole blockchain of the whole world for the day, of the bandwidth, 20% of the bandwidth of the Ethereum blockchain. So
wow,
that's
I knew there was a limitation in that cloud token, even though message behind it.
Yeah, so their solution is a technology of a decentralized wallet, right? It's a different kind of system. So this is the way they're going to solve the problem, right? And then you have to go in there and you have to process your orders quickly. You have to do your order quickly, or you get lower priority. So when you're ready to sell, you have to be on it and ready to sell. They haven't started. They haven't started. So maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow it'll be up and running. Maybe it's in 2 or 3 more days. It's soon. So then they also changing their terminology, because they're saying, oh, this is an investment and ROI and all these words that get them into trouble when they start working and trying to put in an office in different countries. And they say, oh, you need to get a license for being a stockbroker. And they say, why? We're in the crypto space. We're only dealing with it. So then they change everything. But anyway, they don't understand jurisdiction like the way people in the TBC community understand jurisdiction. They don't understand private and public. They don't understand that when you're dealing with securities, and these ROIs and the investments, that these are all words that come out of securitized instruments, debt instruments, which are based in fiat money. So if you don't deal with fiat money, you don't have to deal with it. So, anyway, Cloud Token will be, I think, up and running within, I always give it a week, but it might be this week. So, but as for this new path forward, that's where my focus is. Cloud Token.
No, Mama,
my work. Yes.
Mabo.
Okay, I muted him. Okay, any other questions?
Guys, can you hear me?
Hello.
I have a question. Hello.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Yes. According to what I discovered in your Telegram group, I saw you are asking people that are testers before they should give you a fair message, so that you are looking for their emails. What of the divisions that are not among the tested? How are they going to benefit with this, your new Fed forward? And apart from that, you are among the old leaders of TBC, and there is some plenty people that go into the TBC through you. And now you leave the TBC and start creating another coin. So how are you going to think that those people that enter TBC through you are going to fail? Because they have invested more in that TBC. And now you left TBC and start another coin. How do you think those people are going to fail? They're not going to feel that you use them to get what you want. I want to at least get a little bit information about this. Thank you.
Okay. Well, there's about 3 questions. So one question: the people that are not testers, it's
Yes.
okay. It's okay. I'm really talking about the for the testers that are leaders to be pre-qualified as leaders as
In
part
this
of
your
in this new path forward. So
yes.
so that as part of being a leader, you will end up getting a share of what is generated. A percentage will be made available for all of the leaders
Okay.
on a daily basis. So the people that were not testers, it does not mean you cannot become leaders, but it does mean that you're going to have
Okay.
you're going to be able to, you're going to have to do, how did you become a leader in the testers program? You brought in 100 members. So,
Okay.
so this would be the way to do it. But now this community, this is going to be part, the leaders are part of a structure. Or so we have some other background noise. Who else is making noise? Maybe mute yourself when you're after each time, so that while I'm answering, so there's no noise. So so these leaders are going to also be part of the governance of the whole system, right? Just Privy Council, Board of Trustees, and then also community leaders. So the House of Community Leaders is also going to end up having a share. So this is a system that is going to be in place for people so that they can grow and become leaders and participate, right? So even the members, though, will also participate. They will also have, out of the generated coin every day, have that come to them, in which they can, for just participation. They don't even have to bring in recruits. It can be something as simple as logging in, right? If they're participating and they get a little bit for just logging in, and then if they do something else and do something else, these things can be things that are helping the community, that are jobs that need to be completed, right? And so we have people that want to work and make money here. It all happens this way. So this is a way to help bring people who are going to take action and participate, that they can also participate in what's generated every day. And then everything will also be able to be spendable. If you want to go out to Bitcoin, fine, just exchange it into Bitcoin, no problem. It will be able to be exchanged.
Okay, what of the people that enter TBC community through your presentations and so on? What those people are going to benefit from this your new Fed forward?
So let me ask you a question. Do you think that I've only done TBC and I will only do TBC in my whole life? You think that's the way it should be? That I never do anything else? Is that what you think?
Hello? Yes, it's what I think.
You think that I should never do anything other than TBC? So have you done any other anything other than TBC?
No, other things. No, you have some other things you are doing apart from TBC. Yes, I'm not that one.
But I don't understand why you think that I should only do TBC. This is what I don't understand.
What I want to tell you is there are some people that they enter TBC community because of your presentations.
Okay,
and because of
but because I'm all for TBC, and I believe TBC can cause us to have abundance, and I tell other people, you're saying that I shouldn't be able to tell anyone else about the new path forward or about Cloud Token or about anything else that I think is going to help people, I shouldn't be able to do that?
My network is bad. Hello.
Yes.
I have a question, Mr. Dan.
Yes.
Ah,
Well, I've answered the
Hello?
question. I'll put the video up. You can hear the answer. Okay.
okay.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Hello? Hello, Mr. Dan.
Yes, go ahead.
Can I speak now?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, good day, everyone. So I believe this is, I would say, board meeting or leaders meeting, yeah?
Yes.
Yes. We need our own, everyone need to bring up what or other aspirations that will help grow the new part. Now, I have a question for you, Mr. Dan, because I know that in TBC community, let me say, you are growing the new part, you are creating the new part from TBC community, meaning you are the people that you want to enter them to follow this new path. They are TBCians. Presently, in TBC, there is this major issue that even if when you ask a TBCian to bring $10, a TBCian will tell you, I don't have any money. Even if it is $5, they will say no money. But everyone wants to make money, everyone wants to be a billionaire without putting anything. Although there are people that really invested in TBC, but today we find out that majority, when you talk of investing money in TBC, stories upon stories. Now, meanwhile, there are other bigger other crypto projects that even if when people are asked to invest maybe thousands of dollars and maybe 10,000, 20,000, even $100,000, you see people invest happily and without no much complaint. Yeah. And let me say, that is another group of people, maybe not from the TBC community or something, because I do invest in other crypto projects. And meanwhile, now in those projects, we find out that people really bring out money and invest. Not even, we don't talk or there, you will not be talking about $10, $25, even $100,
Right.
by $1,000, will not be saying anything like that. And you see people coming out and bringing in money and investing. Now, the question I want to ask you is this. Since let me say the new part, you say we want to help TBCians who are maybe in lack. Let me just put it that way. Now, if TBCians are coming in, like what you said earlier, that there will be no a kind of invest, because I know that if you ask TBCians now to come and start investing, many will disappear. You will not even see them again. Many are shouting now, "Dan, Mr. Dan, create a new part, create a new part." But when it starts now, and you say, bring in $5, you see everybody following windows and doors out. Now, the thing is this: what way are you creating that will maybe those TBCians that you know that they will not invest? How would they? Because you said earlier that people will not invest and they will earn. You made mention of that. Maybe I don't get you clear, but maybe you explain further. You said people will not invest and they will earn. Now, how are you going to do it in such a way that those TBCians will come and without putting in anything, they will earn? And if they earn, maybe from bringing in more people, maybe the community, the new part will be growing or expanding or something like that. But how are we, even if they come in without investing anything and they earn, how are we sure that those people that come in without putting anything and will still? Hello, sir.
Yeah, we've lost you. Let me go ahead and.
Okay, I can hear you now. It's clear now.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I can answer your question. I heard what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes, it is true. I'm not asking the people who have no money to put anything in, but they will be able to earn, as you say. But and it is, and the way that this happens is through magic. The magic of making plans and working out a system in which it can happen. So it's you know, I am able to go ahead and create a system in which this can happen, right? So it and realizing what's important, right? With the different oh.
You put the passengers.
Oh, sorry, I'm on a broadcast, right? Sorry. So, sorry, my wife came in.
Okay.
My cat was crying at the door, wanting to come in. Yes, I hear you.
Well,
I don't know if you hear my cat, but my cat is wants to talk.
One day you bring your wife on the screen so that we'll see her face. We'll be glad to see her one day.
Every once in a while, she comes on. Every once, maybe 3 times this last year. She's made it.
Okay, I've not seen her face.
So so as I was saying, the system is designed so that they're recognizing what is valuable, just as TBC recognizes, right? The community is valuable because the people are valuable. We're infinite in our value. So recognizing that just participation has value, and they should be rewarded for that. So it doesn't matter you have no money. You can still be rewarded for the one thing you can do is participate.
Sorry, Mr. Dan. Where would the fund come from? Where would the money that we use in rewarding them? Where will it come from? Although,
so that is the magic. That I'm not going to tell you.
The magic. Okay, sir.
So when you'll know when I reveal, you'll say, "Oh, why didn't anyone else think of
magic.
that?"
Mr. Dan, I'll go and announce that we've gotten a magician in the community now, which is Mr. Dan the magician. You are bringing magic this time around.
That's it. There's going to be lots. Everyone will see the magic, and they'll all very clear to them, and they'll say, "Oh, this is this is why the point is being the people that have already that we're talking with, which is not in TBC. So as for the kind of the question about going to the TBC community and asking them to follow, if nobody did, the coin would still be in the top 10 coins. Yeah. So maybe we're in the top 20.
Mr. Dan, I have one more question.
Okay, but who's making all the noise? Mute yourself.
Not from here, not from my end,
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. When will this? When will everything begin? Because right now it's as if you are the only one doing every preparation on the ground.
I'm the only one.
We know nothing. When is everything beginning?
Yeah, I'm the only one talking. There's a core group of people that are working on this, and from that we have to make a coordination between some financial institutions to make this happen, so we're putting these agreements in place. So this takes some time, right? The coin, I could send it out in 2 weeks from now. I could load your wallet, but that's not going.
2 weeks from now.
But I'm not going to do it because these other things have to be put in place.
Okay.
Right.
So what are we going to begin? Are we beginning this year, or is it going to enter next year before.
If everything gets completed, before the coin is ready, then we'll start immediately. There's no reason. Or maybe we start on Christmas. I don't know. Make it
So
a
it's okay. It's okay. Now, Mr. Dan, I want to beg for one thing. You see, you are an important figure. You are a big figure in the TBC community, and many people like to abide by whatever you say, whatever you do, and whichever movement you are taking. Please, I want to beg you for one thing. Based on, because you said it clear that you are not leaving and you are not planning to leave TBC community, that you are still with TBC 100%. So I will, in as much as the admin is doing things his own way, and maybe the whole thing will delay the whole process, and more than the period we are expecting the real things in TBC. So yeah, I would still like to urge you to, whichever little support based on positive comments, like encourage, a word of encouragement to the TBCians, which maybe some of them are backsliding or maybe a kind of having weak mind concerning the project. I would like you to be at least giving some words of encouragement to members, especially on whichever program that is going on. I would always like you to give them as in a kind of word of encouragement, so that people will not totally fall or have their mind off TBC. Let them know that TBC is still a mission that is live, that we are going.
So
now, like the present December program, the December 1 program that admin said. I think he said that both people that paid and people that never paid, like with admin credit, people can still get the full TBC. Based on me, I'm looking at it as if that's the way of, you want to use that way to accomplish his 1 million and 111 billionaire that he said. So let people also know that it's not must that you pay then. Admin credit, people that have enough aggregate credits can help people, other people to get 111 TBC that period, so that let's see when we get to the 111 billionaires, let's see the next thing that admin will bring to the table. So please always give people words of encouragement. Encourage people in the community. Don't always say, because your word is very heavy. Your words don't always have weight in the community. So please, I'm begging you for this. Sir.
So I weighed my words very carefully, right? And I weighed my actions very carefully a long time before I decided to do anything, right?
Yeah.
Because there is nothing wrong with the current technology. There is no need for a new blockchain, and that is my opinion. Coming up with this money, like to expand, to get more money and to build a new blockchain, is, I think, unnecessary when you should be concerned with bringing in members and distributing the admin coin wallet. So to give encouragement, the only thing I can say that I find encouraging is that with this new path forward, this will, in essence, solve the problems, or basically be able to achieve the goal of eradicating poverty. You know, I don't see how the current direction is going to achieve the massive membership that is required to fulfill the mission of TBC. So I cannot give you the encouragement about that direction. There's nothing wrong with the technology. The coin sits as it is. The concept is fine, except it cannot get to spendability in a very fast pace. So this is why I took the actions I did. So I personally cannot even tell people to join TBC right now. Because the way I read the mission, the articles of association is that if I'm telling people to commit a crime, Bitcoin bounty, then I can be kicked out. So it's a very complicated situation. And that's why I found no way to achieve the goal. And my goal has been the same since before TBC, to eradicate poverty on this planet, to replace the existing financial system. I was talking about doing this for a long time. So, and I've taken many actions to do this, to replace the existing world financial system. Now, a lot of people, even very high-level people, sorry, I've had very high-level people in the financial world that I've had as friends of mine that ran large financial institutions, and I tell them these same things, right? And it wasn't like I was going to say to them that that maybe someone should come around and do it. I said, no, I'm going to do it, right? And so the process of doing it, right, I saw for a long time is coming from technology. Michael, please stop unmuting yourself. If you want to speak, I don't know, raise your hand or something, because you have a lot of background noise and it stops the flow of communication. So, this goal, to come up with a new system has evolved. Still the same goal. So I wish I could say that TBC is going to make it to 1 billion members next year. The way I see it right now, it's 20 years from now, right? If things change and there's a different direction, and and admin kind of recognizes that there's been some serious problems in the way he's been proceeding with things, from the time of breaking up the whole testers matrix, these leaders together. How can you expect the leaders? Look what happened to the membership roles after he disbanded the top 10 leaders. It just plummeted down into tens a day, 10, 20 people a day. So but this Bitcoin bounty system is showing pretend people. Sure, gain 50,000 people. You got people to put in their admin credits and put people into the system. They didn't buy any coin. They didn't pay the next month. They're still part of the new numbers. So now it's going to increase the price, but you're not going to have the people behind it. So this direction is very much flawed. So that's why the new path forward, the way I see it, is the only way to make there be any ability for TBC to exist, in the future, right? Is because we're still going to be honoring the principles.
Mr. Dan, I see one thing. You see, even at the growth of TBC today, even if before that time you said we are experiencing fast growth in TBC. Most of the people coming into TBC then, most of them were not real. There are cases of individuals sitting in their homes, in the comfort of their home, and registering thousands of people that never existed, all in the name of accumulating this whole thing for themselves. So
no doubt.
The Bitcoin bounty, the system this time around, let me say one or two things. The system this time around, I see a clear system that that people come in with, and bring in the real people instead of the olden time that I've seen a lot of people that they don't care. All they are after is to accumulate to themselves. They don't even they don't even tell their family members that social thing exists. But they have thousands of people as their downlight who never exist. You understand? So the whole thing are problem. The whole thing are problem.
Yeah, I think what Christian is saying is true. I remember when the Bitcoin bounty started, it took me time to really process it. But when I got it, I got the idea behind it. Today, I can register up to 100, and these are real people. You must be stupid to register an anonymous, someone who is not real. When you know the idea is to create, baby, please, I'm on Zoom, I beg you. When you know the idea is to create a residual passive income, I understand the power of residual passive income because I have been earning residual passive income since 2013 on a system that pays me monthly. What I earn sitting in my house, going to the office, people that work in government offices or whatever they are, CEOs, they don't earn it. That's the power of residual income. If you don't create value, no residual income comes. So the people we are signing up now are real people. The days of signing up stupid people because you want to get coin is over. You understand? So I am with you, Dan, because I love you. I've learned so much, like a father to me. But as for TBC, I'm in TBC 100%, and I'm fully supporting TBC until it becomes liquid. And the part the admin is taking, yes, it's a bit difficult. But that December 1st idea of giving people one coin will help us to get to 1 million early. When we get to 1 million early, then the distribution of the coin, that's giving people so much coin, should stop. Then you create scarcity. We are still long.
It's not going to stop.
Mr. Frederick, you see, some of the people are them that you don't pay anything to come in. Some of them are but this time around, someone that paid $25 to get something will never, that time we give it. Those, when we talk of free, sometimes you find out that people don't value free things. I'm saying from my own area here, people don't value. I'll say there are investments today that I'll see people, those people that tell you that they don't have $1 to put in TBC, so I enjoy registering as in bringing people
Christian, this is not working. Christian.
Your line is not okay at all. Stop talking.
They don't value the whole thing.
You yourself supposed to know that the line is not okay.
I muted him, so I'm sorry, Christian. It's just not, we cannot hear you, and the last 3 minutes were unintelligible, so I don't know what you're about to say. But you know, again, I'm not leaving the TBC community. I'm not saying not to keep your TBC. I'm not saying not to use your TBC. I'm just saying that I cannot see how we get there to 1 billion people in a very quick period, even getting to 1 million people with one full TBC. I don't see it happening even by January or even the following January. So, and then when that's done, there's still a whole lot of coin. So the system, the system is going to take a long time, and trying to come up with a system that is based around people paying in to pay for development and people and all this kind of stuff. It's not formed the right way. That's because it's leaning too much on the poor people of the planet. And that's not right. So this is why I wanted to make sure to solve this problem, right? That there was not going to be this heavy burden put on the poor when we're trying to alleviate poverty. It has to be done a different way. Going back to the old system is fine. Even lowering, the admin fee. I'd be in favor of lowering it to 1 grain of gold, right? I think that would be much better. And let it grow slowly. And that's fine. Let 250 Kringles go to people. If you want to do other promotions to get coin out into the hands of people, great. But have there be something else that solves the problem right now, because it's not going to solve the problem. It's not going to happen by January. Now I'm making strange noises. Hello?
Everything you said is right. I wish the admin really listened to at least to the voice of the people, especially you and the other leaders. I believe that if a clear path is defined, it is easy to get TBC to where it's supposed to be. Let's assume he wants to get to distribute the whole coin. If he wants to distribute the whole coin to stop the this whole idea of giving out so much coin, you can still charge your 8 grain every month by giving out full coin to everyone that pays $25. As soon as you finish distributing the coin, then you lock it down, and then we'll have a full-blown economy. But when the people doesn't have a clear path, what are you, okay, this coin you are giving us, at the end of the day, when are we going to hit 1 million people that has this coin? When are you going to
spend it?
The whole coin? The 250 Kringle is okay. If you're going to give 250 Kringle to 1 billion people, it's not a bad idea. That can continue. But the idea of giving people so much coin, it still make it a little bit, it's just a bit too much out there. So we need to create scarcity for the coin before the coin can become spendable. That's number one. Number two, yes, we said we want to have a privy council. The privy council will be formed, I'm sure. You just want to be sure that he has the right people behind him. You want to know that, for me, I don't talk to the admin. I pray. I'm a man of the spirit, so I know how these things work. Sure, just want to make sure that you have the right people on your side. I'm also a businessman. You don't want to create business and to have another set of people fighting your business. That will bring down the business. So you want a team that unites. It doesn't mean that they are stupid people. You listen to them, and we should have opportunity of sharing ideas. That's where that's where there's a disconnect now. The admin need to give room for people to share ideas like this. If you do 8 grain, it's okay until you finish distributing the coin, and you stop that distribution, and maybe take your monthly fee to 1 grain per month, which makes sense. Even if it is 2 grain per month, and you are giving 1 grain to the people because you want them to create Bitcoin, it makes sense. But in a situation where you can't communicate to him, he doesn't even know what, in his mind, you're fighting him. If I think that you're fighting the business, there's going to be a defensive output because I don't want to bring down the business.
Frederick,
you understand? So
yeah,
I really want to.
Frederick, listen, I feel fine if you want to continue to do Bitcoin bounty, and you want to do the best you can with TPC. Everybody should. But
Yeah.
and the thing is that, you know, I agree that there should be, because I supported all the efforts, even if I didn't agree with the actual things that were going on. I made my privately, I said my piece. And when he decided to do something else, I supported it because it's important to do that. But by the time that when you basically do something to where it is so against all the principles that were laid out, right? And that new policy, I'd always made the point that said, punishing people does not make a better business. You know, the whole thing about punishing discounters, right? The solution is not to punish people for discounting, right? You want to say that that's the reason people are not be able to sell the coin. Well, the solution is not to punish people. Remove their send button, right? This idea of centralizing the whole coin was the mistake. I didn't like it at the time, but I supported it. I understood the reasons why he wanted to do it. I said there was better ways. He didn't want to talk about those. So you know, he's going to do the systems that he wants, but I cannot support things that then go down the line of being, as I see, against the principles that we had that worked so hard to build. So that's why I'm waiting for him to change his direction. You know, if he changes his direction and things change around and he's not punishing people for things, then okay, you know, I'd be glad to recommend people. If it's not about Bitcoin bounty and people can go in and pay their lifetime wallet fee, great, right? Here's a coin. It's a buy formula. There's no problem with that. It's the rest of it. The rest of it is the wrong direction and not going to achieve the goal. So that's why, you know,
that's why I support the paths that you are taking, you know, because at the end of the day, you're not going to put all your eggs in one basket. You know, yeah. There has to be a competition somehow.
Yeah, and you know, I've done a lot on what we call cooperative capitalism, right? Not about competitive capitalism. So there's a difference between competing, right, and then helping people. So if you have two businesses that are competing, and as a result, you do bad things to one another to get the customer, everybody loses. The customer loses, you lose, and the other business also loses. So they think that they're getting ahead, but in reality, they've hurt their business, and then they end up closing sooner, and they'll just blame the other competitor, right? That's the madness. So cooperative capitalism also means, though, you have to work with people that are going to want to cooperate, right? That they want to help you as much as you want to help them. So I've joined organizations and I help craft programs for doing that specific thing. So
wow. I think that's a very beautiful point. Better than creating competition.
Hello.
Kind of destroy the other business. Cooperative capitalism, or what they call it, capitalization. I think it makes sense. So what, like what Christian was saying the other time, that you should keep supporting TBC at the end of the day, because we have millions of people, thousands of people who have come into this thing. When I get into a business, I support the business to the end. That's the way I am. That's my mindset. When I'm a member of a particular church, I've been in that church since I left the university, even with all the criticism and the challenges and what people are saying about my pastor. I didn't leave the church because the church has blessed me. You see, anything I come into when I'm working with you down it now, nobody can tell me anything against and that will cause me to have issue with you. That's my life. When I build relationship, I believe in people, and I know there are challenges. Like look at this cloud token now. This cloud token is having challenges, even though the man has a very good idea and is a good person, but there are still challenges with technology. That's why, these things happen. We shouldn't see it as a failure of a system. It should rather, inspire us to work together in unity to build this. I said something about when you want to work with a creator, you advise him. We don't attack people by, you try to advise them by attacking them and said, okay, this thing is not, why are you doing this? Because you're stupid. That there's ego. We all have pride. We have ego in us because we have value. So when you bring people, when you say things to bring others down, you devalue them. Even if what you're saying makes sense, they will not implement that idea.
Right.
You see. So I really want you to keep supporting TBC, because at the end of the day, you were in it from day one. It's still your project. Support it. Yeah. Just the way we support you. You know what I mean?
Well, this is why in this new path forward to have not just a privy council, but also a house of leaders, community leaders, and then have one mother and one father of that house that will be part of this, so that there's a coordination of the leaders that are working with the people directly for a say in what is going on, right? So that there is a way for there to be a process to overlook these things. So we need to be able to work within the community and not have just one only path that is going to be for only one guy deciding everything, right? So I think that there is a lot that can be said on for what TBC's mission has been and where it has gone, and I think it's just about moving forward. I want to just say that I've know so much about what TBC has been and where it's been trying to go. So I want to make sure that any of the issues that were there, because I know the issues, that they were handled and they're solved and everything is much better. So that was my goal on this new path forward, is to make something that was going to be solving all of those problems and making sure that people are able to get abundance now, not a few months from now to years from now. So there's someone else has raised their hand. Isaac, you want to go ahead and ask a question?
No, I did.
No? Okay. You had your hand up. Okay, that's fine. You do? No?
No.
Okay.
I'm enjoying your explanation.
Okay. Okay. Well, is it more like a high five instead of hands up? Okay, hands up. Okay. Hey, any more questions? We're going close to 2 hours here. For me, it's almost 1 a.m.
I have a question.
Oh yes, Jefferson. Well, good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you, Mr. Dan Lewis. Sorry, I've been up and on. I had so many things I need to sort out as family related. Well, however, the case, because I was up and on in the meeting, and so I could not join you guys from the beginning. However, we all know the agenda is more or less to have a new path forward. First of all, I want to acknowledge your the part. I want to acknowledge all your efforts you have put in to ensure that we really have abundance. You see, the idea of the TBC has been to create abundance. It doesn't go well with the way of the world, and it's a fantastic project. Hence, that's why I've been to discover and the reason why his identity is unknown today. But however, we need to really want to enjoy that abundance now.
Well,
Really
yes,
to enjoy it now.
yes. Well, you'll have to wait. You know, I describe the way the abundance happens is through magic. So
Okay.
you'll have to learn how the magic happens.
Oh, definitely.
So just wait a bit longer. You know, we need to get some things in agreement before these announcements are made. As I said, there's one website built and the coin is under construction. I mean, so this is not the issue. It's more about the agreements with these financial institutions to make sure that what we're doing is all works together. There's 4 parties involved to bring this abundance forward. So once you see what I've designed, then everyone will say, "Oh, that's wonderful," and they'll understand why this is going to be, you know, one of the top 10 coins in the first year. So,
yeah, definitely.
By the end of, so everyone will be very excited. Everyone will want the coin, with no doubt.
Oh, definitely. With that part, I think that's fair and good enough. There's equally something I wanted to add. I noticed you shared a link concerning some legal, to check out the legality of our project. You shared it this afternoon. However, I wanted to know, is it very much in relation to the new pathway forward? Are we trying to institutionalize with following with legal standings to ensure that we are with good financial standing with the world? But I saw you shared that link with us. So
I'm trying to think what I don't know what link you're referring to. I'm looking back to see. What was it about?
ICO. The ICO.
Yes,
I think the ICO.
ICO, things like that, where you put in the name of your name.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yes.
Yeah.
So this is about about how do you maintain yourself in financial world, right? How are you able to do this? So that's all. It's just one of the things that I'm doing research on. So that's all. There's no news articles and things like that I post. So this is just one of the things that I was doing research on.
Okay.
So I'll explain what it. How do I say this? I've said this before, so I'll try and elaborate a little bit more. It's not about doing an ICO. But this one in particular is talking about IEO.
Yes.
Initial exchange offering. This is why I said we don't really, it's not about going to the TBC community and say, here, buy the coin. Because the coin is already going to be sold and in circulation before we even bring it to the community.
Yes.
Right? And much bigger numbers, you know, because of this. So it's we're talking directly with exchanges, right? To carry this coin, right? So we want to make sure that they're going to also want to participate in this. So we're working with one in particular right now that we have one of the 4 that's in the agreement.
I think that's a good step. It's a very, very, very good step. And it will, I don't know, it will change the narrative. Because at the end of the day, if this is expendable then no matter how much it costs, the monthly, even if they want the monthly fee to be maybe $100 or whatever, we'll be ready because at the end of the day, we can be able to do it.
Right. So yeah, that's all. So the idea of trying to work. We don't want to be an ICO, right? It's all about how do we represent this in a way that makes sense for the world. So we have a bridge to the world. This is the problem with TBC. We're looking at Bitcoin as the bridge, but it's only a bridge on one side. Bitcoin is not building a bridge over to us, right? Okay. We're only trying to make a bridge from TBC to Bitcoin, so it's very difficult, right? So we need to work it from a different place, a different solution.
Yeah. But if I may ask, what makes it so difficult? Is it because admin might doesn't want to release the
API?
Yes, thank you very much. It's API.
Yeah, the API, and that's a big part of a problem, right? This for the problems with TBC are very numerous, but not having an API is a problem, right? So not having this is wrong. I will tell you that we will end up with an API for the new path forward. I will tell you that is already part of the design, right? It's a must-have.
So it's more or less like more or less like an alternative where yes. It will encourage us to be part of the system.
Yeah, because you want to, you want to expand who's using it, right? So there has to be a completed cycle, and it's an uphill battle to get to the number of people. That means that you get to critical mass. I always thought it was at least 100 million people active, 100 million people. Not just names on a list, or some people who registered an email or said I'll join and then never looked at it again. No, you need 100 million people. You need a whole country the size of Nigeria, the whole country of the Philippines. If you have that kind of population, you can make an economy. Until you get there, you can't do it. But anyway, this is not something I think that is going to change. I don't see it changing. Admin is very stubborn about these things, so that's the only way I can see to really move it forward is with this new path. So anyway, any other questions? As I said, we've been on for 2 hours. I'm a little tired. 1 a.m. for me. Any other questions? Okay. Well, I've moved over. I have 2 screens here. Okay. So I appreciate everyone for joining in. I will do another one probably next week. And we'll just see if we can work through. If you have any questions, you can ask me, just send them in the group, or you can PM me, either way. Until then, so goodbye everybody, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you. God bless.
Goodbye, the magician.
Goodbye, everyone.
Yeah, see the magic.
The
Path is here.
The magician himself.
We'll see the magic soon.
Okay. We'll be waiting.
Bye.
All right. See you next time. God bless you, sir.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.